It's been a cloudy, rainy spring here in Northern Virginia so far, but we're hoping that the rest of May will provide a few clear nights to observe the sky. After all, there are planets to see. 5 different planets of our solar system are visible to the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. You do have a chance to see all 5 during this month. We're recording in May of 2020, but you'll have to observe in both the evening and in the early morning to accomplish that. In mid-May, the brightest planet in our sky, Venus, is still visible in the west in the early evening. As Venus moves along its orbit, it's approaching what we call an inferior conjunction, meaning that the planet is passing directly between Earth and the Sun. As it gets closer to the Sun from Earth's point of view, the planet sets earlier every day. By the end of May, Venus will be lost in the solar glare, and we will no longer be able to see it in the evening. As Venus sinks, however, the planet Mercury rises in the sky, though it's not nearly as bright as Venus. During the last half of May, you might be able to catch a glimpse of Mercury in the early evening. Look to the west, near Venus, just after sunset. In fact, on May 21st, Mercury and Venus will only be about 1 degree apart from each other. Mercury is a planet of extremes. It is the smallest planet, and also the planet closest to our Sun. Temperatures range from -180 degrees all the way up to 430 degrees Celsius. It has almost no atmosphere, and its surface is covered with craters, much like our moon. Mercury is also the fastest moving planet, orbiting around the Sun in only 88 days, but it spins on its axis very slowly. So if somehow you could live on Mercury, a year would actually be shorter than a single day. There is more planet action to see in May, but you have to be up pretty early to do it. Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars are all visible in the pre-dawn sky through the end of this month. The planets seem to stretch out in a line across the sky close to the ecliptic. The ecliptic is what we call the imaginary line that marks the path of the Sun across the sky. Because our solar system is shaped a bit like a large flat disk, the planets stay pretty close to that ecliptic plane. Jupiter, the largest of the planets, is the brightest in our morning sky this month. It rises close to midnight and will be in the south-southeast shortly before sunrise. The planet is called a gas giant because it's mostly made up of hydrogen and helium rather than heavier rocky elements. Despite its large size, Jupiter rotates very quickly, so a Jovian day is only about 10 hours long compared with 24 hours for a day on Earth. If you have binoculars, you should be able to observe one or more of the 4 Galilean moons, the largest of Jupiter's 79 currently known moons. They're among the largest moons in the entire solar system. Over the past few decades, we have sent 9 different robotic spacecraft to Jupiter. And since 2016, the Juno mission has been providing exciting new data and some spectacular close-up views as it orbits the giant planet. Looking to the sky about 5 degrees to the east of Jupiter is Saturn. While you won't be able to make out its famous rings without a telescope, Saturn still appears as a bright point in the sky to the naked eye. Though smaller than Jupiter, Saturn is also a gas giant made up mostly of hydrogen and helium. Those rings consist mostly of many, many small pieces of ice. Though the rings extend tens of thousands of kilometers across, they are actually only about 1 kilometer thick. Saturn is also the current leader in the solar system moon count, with 82 discovered so far. Most of the moons are actually very small, but Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is the only moon in the solar system known to have a significant atmosphere. From Saturn, look further to the east, and you'll see Mars. Also known as the red planet, Mars gets its ruddy color from oxidized iron minerals in the soil, basically rust. It's a rocky planet about half the size of Earth and has 2 very small moons, Phobos and Deimos. The atmosphere is very thin, but Mars does have weather with planet-wide dust storms that can last for days or weeks. It also has seasons, and the polar ice caps grow and shrink accordingly. Mars boasts the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, which is 3 times taller than Mount Everest and as big as Arizona at its base. Well, that's all for this time. I hope you get a chance to go outside soon and observe some of the planets for yourself this month. Happy planet gazing!